Hi, I'm Krista Andrews.
Hi, and I'm Aline Marion Bean.
Welcome to Let's Talk About It. So, welcome to our Christmas or holiday episode. I'm super excited about this.
I'm excited, a little bit of a mixed emotion here. I can't believe we're already here in the holiday season. Everything goes so fast, but nevertheless.
Yes, and we have a very special guest here with us. We searched high and low, had to call in a few favors, but we have Mrs. Claus with us today. And we are so happy that you're here.
Welcome,
so exciting.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We're so excited to see you here, and we see that you're dressed in your beautiful dress. And thank you for sneaking away some time from good old Saint Nick.
Oh,
Speaking of Saint Nick, is he an easy boss to work for?
He has his moments.
I'm sure it has to be hard to keep him organized.
It's very hard to keep him organized.
Do we use spreadsheets, or what are we doing?
No, I just follow everywhere he goes and pick up after him and, get things ready for him. He's always a little nervous when he gets every day, and it's just
And he has
it's
the
like
elves
it's a
to
new
help,
day.
too.
We have a lot of elves that
Oh,
help,
yep.
so
About
it's
how
always
many
fun.
elves do you have to take care of as well?
I can't even count them.
So
We have
many.
big elves, little elves, middle-sized elves. They're
And they all have
everywhere.
their own trades, right? Some work
Yes.
on the clothes, some work on the toys.
The toys, they're in the kitchen, they're in the workshop, they're with the reindeer, they're...
Oh my
And we're
goodness.
happy you're here with us. I'm sorry the big guy couldn't be here, but we're happy you're with us.
Thank you. He's a very busy guy.
He is.
Yeah, we tried to call in so many favors, but like you said, he was just so busy being this time of year.
Sends us and
Did you hear that? Oh my goodness! Santa! Oh my goodness! Hi, Santa!
I hope she didn't throw me under the bus, did she?
No, she was just saying how organized you are.
My
Oh,
goodness!
little Krista's here, huh? We got a picture of you sitting on my lap, screaming. And listen,
Yeah.
no more hiding stuff under the bed, okay?
Fine.
And what are you laughing at? When you were little, you used to call me Ho-Ho.
Some things never change.
Every time she
Leave
saw
it
a
to
picture
her.
of me, she said, ho, ho, hi, ho, ho, bye, ho. She was like 15 when we finally told her, my name's not Ho. And Marlene, you remember this?
Oh, wow. That's my annual gift.
She tried to catch me when she was little. She put out a string and had a camera and a tripwire.
Oh my goodness!
So we're so
Marlene.
glad you having us.
Well,
We love
thank
coming to
you.
Massachusetts. We do.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thank
taking time out of
you.
your busy schedule. We know this is your busy season, but we
A couple
really
weeks.
appreciate you coming by and helping us spread some holiday cheer to all of you out there watching us right now. We really sincerely do wish you all a very happy holiday season, and we hope that you enjoy this time that we have here with Father Nick and his lovely wife, Mrs. Claus.
She's in a good mood. She got new earrings today.
She was on the good
I had to
list.
bribe her a little.
So Santa, while we're here, could you give us a brief history about Saint Nick?
Oh, well, it's a complicated story.
Yeah.
But the easiest way I can explain it is Saint Nick is really my great grandfather. See, Saint Nicholas was a priest. He was
Okay.
born in the year 200 in AD. And as we know, priests can't keep their money. He inherited some money.
Yeah.
And he can't keep it. So what does he do with it? He walks down the road, and during the night, he throws the gold pieces and the little trinkets and little toys and stuff. And where do they land? They land in the stockings by the chimney that are hanging by the chimney with care, in hopes
Okay.
that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
Yep.
So this legend goes on, and all the merchants, they bring it back to their countries, and it starts spreading for thousands of years. The legend of St. Nicholas spreads. And in the United States, the Dutch brought it to New York City in the 1700s, and they called St. Nicholas Sinterklaas. And then
Yes.
from Sinterklaas, it changed it to Santa Claus, and now the rest is history.
So what inspired you to become Santa?
Well, in my other life, I'm an elementary phys ed school teacher.
Okay.
And I retired, and I met, while I was teaching phys ed, some elves were visiting me all the time. I thought they were I thought they were little fairies.
Okay.
Fairies, you know, and I see them. But they were elves, and the real Santa had sent them to me to check on me, to see if I had it in my heart, if I really liked being with kids. And I passed.
Oh, great.
And the rest is history, as I can
As
say.
part, though, of that initiation, we understand that there is a very important oath
Yes.
that every Santa
Yes.
must take.
I do take an oath, and
Yep.
I did bring it with you. Now, I don't
Oh,
want to
my
read
goodness.
it.
Okay.
It's quite long.
Wow.
But is the Santa
This is
Claus
a legal
oath.
document.
Oh, yes, yes. And I'll just read a couple parts.
Okay.
It says, I shall be dedicated to hearing the secret dreams of both children and adults. I know the real reason for the season, and I know that I am blessed to be part of it. I promise to use my powers to create happiness, spread love, and make fantasies come to life in the true and sincere tradition of the Santa Claus legend. I pledge myself to these principles as a descendant of St. Nicholas, the gift giver of Myra.
Wow.
So I took this oath
Yeah.
with about another 100 other Santas at the Northeast Santa Convention on Cape Cod about 20 years ago.
Wow.
It was about 100 Santas and maybe 25 Mrs. Clauses and 15 or so elves, and we all meet in Cape Cod every summer. It's a nice convention. We go over all sorts of things at the convention. You know, there might be classes and seminars on how to do your beard.
Yeah.
And is Santa a hobby? Is it a
Yep.
hobby or you know, a business? You know, tax reasons.
Yeah.
How to there's suits, how to make suits, and there's all sorts of vendors and,
So Santa-
and sign language and stuff.
Would you say that that's a group of folks that have been deputized by the big guy himself?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's where you want to go to make sure that you get
Yes.
something pretty good that year off your list.
Yes.
Okay. Now we know.
Yes, now we know.
Follow us to Cape Cod.
This is absolutely
Yes.
stunning.
So I brought with me the
Okay.
North Pole. It says
Oh,
right
it's
on it.
beautiful.
The
Look at this.
North Pole, if you can see it. The North
Absolutely.
Pole.
Yeah.
And about 100 years ago, I had a big tree in front of me at the North Pole.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, boom, it got hit by lightning.
Oh
and
my
Eddie
goodness.
Spaghetti, he's the head elf.
Oh.
Eddie Spaghetti took it down into the workshop and he carved it all up.
Oh,
and
wow.
who's that on top?
Santa.
Hey, it's Ho Ho. And all the reindeers.
All the reindeer.
If you look hard, there's Rudolph
Yep.
and Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen and Comet. And even they had room to put Mrs. Claus. She's a Peggy. And I have two beautiful children, a Michael and a Justine.
Oh, that is
And they're
gorgeous.
on the
That's
stick.
beautiful.
I
work
There's
of
no
art.
absolutely-
other stick like this in the whole world.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that.
Santa, while we have you here, I see this book, this beautiful book, and it certainly looks like if it's gone through some stuff and a few names that have been in there. Can we look and see if I'm in there, please?
Whoa.
I know I am in there. I have got to be in
Verify
there.
this.
I get lots of reports. I get reports from my elves.
Yes.
Certainly, lots of elves. We can talk about the elves in a minute.
Yeah.
But I get reports from the elves and from teachers and from coaches and parents and memes and nanas and papas and grandpas. And I get all sorts of reports.
Yep.
And they send them to me.
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful book.
It is.
Now, Santa, if we can talk, a little bit about what brought you into this life. So officially, obviously, we know your name is Santa Claus, but we also use Santa Paul. Now, as Santa Paul, and when you take on these responsibilities, what fuels you? Why do you do this?
Well, I'll tell a quick short story.
Okay.
The very first time I was Santa, Mrs. Claus was with me. Remember where we were at? Applebee's, right? We were at Applebee's. We were doing a party for a little elementary school.
Yeah.
And I was a nervous Willie. She was nervous. I was nervous. I'm going to forget the reindeer's names. I can't do this. I was having an anxiety attack almost. And I got out of the car, and the little girl about 20 yards away saw me. We made eye contact.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, she ran as fast as she could, and she grabbed my legs and said, "Santa, I love you."
Oh.
And it's
And
been
that
easy.
broke the ice.
It's been
Yeah.
easy
Ever
since.
since then?
Yes,
Melts
yes.
your heart.
Now, Santa, what are some of the venues that you visit?
Oh, well, we just came back. A few days ago, we were at White's down the road in Fall River.
Yes,
We were
yes.
with the Dartmouth Police Department, had a nice toy drive there.
Oh, nice.
I just recently lit the tree for the governor of Rhode Island. Mrs. Claus and I and the governor was nice at the Rhode Island
Wow.
State House.
Wow.
And we visit just about everywhere. We visit, Candy Cane Nursery, schoolhouse, farmhouse, Little Red Hen.
Yep.
Daycares.
Many
Daycares,
daycares,
yep.
schools, nursing homes.
So there is no age limit.
No, we love going to nursing homes.
Absolutely.
We do, because some parts it's sad because
Yeah. I bet they must love seeing
I
you.
know that I'm the only visitor sometimes.
That's sad.
For a whole year, I could be the only visitor.
And so this must be
We have
uplifting.
to uplift them, we have to be,
Yes.
we're
Sing
happy, and we
songs.
sing,
Yes.
we dance,
Wow.
and we love what we read. It was the night before Christmas
Yep.
with me, and we
And that's
sing.
part of your oath, is to spread
Yes,
the cheer
yes,
and
not
to
just
spread
for
love.
kids,
Yeah.
it's for the sick, the poor, the forgotten.
Santa,
Yeah.
how do you both, Mrs. Claus and Santa, how do you go about making sure that everybody feels heard, feels seen, you know, that you have the opportunity to spend a few minutes, because you really will have a lot of folks that want to meet you, and you only have, let's say, maybe 2 or 3 minutes per person. How do you connect with that person?
Well, we do the best. I mean, I usually will tell the child, I don't want to hear their list just today. You know,
Sure.
mail it to me.
Yep.
Because some of these kids
Oh, yeah.
have the lists, you know.
Roll it out.
50. I had a boy, he asked, I let him go. I was at the mall, and I let him go. He asked for 58 things.
Oh my goodness.
58.
boy.
And he
Wow.
was with his grandmother. And I said, what are you getting your grandmother? And you know what he said? I don't know.
Oh.
It
Well,
just broke my heart.
yeah.
Well, I hope you gave him the cold.
yeah.
Yeah, right?
The truth is, I don't give out that much coal. You know, I really don't.
Santa, what
I
is
have it all.
It's
What is
over.
one of the funniest things that a child has ever asked for?
Well, I did have a little girl, and she was from Lynn, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And we're going to go there after, because we've been singing that song, Trot, Trot to Boston, Trot, Trot to Lynn. You know that song?
Yes, I do.
We've been singing that song. Mrs. Claus has never been to Lynn. So she was from Lynn, right?
Yep.
And she asked for a boyfriend for her mother and a pooper scooper for her father. Now, I don't know what the family dynamics are going there, but
my goodness.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I didn't
Yeah.
ask.
Oh my goodness. So can we talk a little bit
Yeah.
about the elves?
Sure.
Oh,
sure.
right.
Now, I'm not happy with all the elves.
Oh.
I'm not happy because
Oh, no.
they're just right. They're too silly.
yeah.
They're too silly.
Oh.
And what are some of the rules they break?
Don't go on the ceiling
They
fan.
go on, a couple rules at
Yep.
elf school. No going on ceiling fans.
Get that,
They go
Krista?
up on the ceiling fan. How many
Yeah.
got hurt last year?
72.
So they go on the
Wow.
fan, and by accident, someone turns the fan on, and woo, woo, they go flying. And what's the other big rule?
Don't go in the bathroom.
Oh.
They're not supposed to go in the bathroom, so you have your privacy.
Oh,
And
okay.
they go in the
Makes
bathroom,
sense.
they play with the baby powder, they play with the toilet paper. They are just too silly, some of these elves.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with
Time
them.
out.
Yeah.
Time out for
Yep.
these guys.
So like I said, when people ask me, do I need an elf? You don't need an elf. I got enough teachers and parents and
Yep.
You
I
have
get enough
help.
reports, yes.
Yeah.
Santa, in looking at your beautiful outfit here, we have some questions here, but specifically I see that you have a set of keys hanging from your
Oh,
belt.
yes.
Whoa.
Look at that.
Now this
Well,
key,
Well, you see, little Kevin, where is he? He's around somewhere.
he's
doesn't-
our helper elf.
He doesn't have a chimney. So some houses, if you don't have a chimney, I'll use my magic key.
Oh, okay.
Or some people have chimneys, but they light a beautiful fire
Oh,
on
yep.
Christmas Eve. Or they just have too many trees and too many wires. I mean, I always look for, if there's a golf course or maybe a fire station or a school, I'll land there if it's safe. But
Okay.
if I can't come down the chimney, I'll come in the front door.
Oh, and that
you know.
unlocks all
Yeah,
the
that-
doors.
magic
And
To all
this
the good
ensures
boys
a
and girls.
Santa visit.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it does.
Wow.
Thank you. And anything else here? Because I see this is not necessarily the traditional Santa that we see. I see that there's a little bit more embroidery here. These are beautiful outfits. Can you talk to us a little bit about this?
Mrs., I don't even know how many.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure you have to have a
15
lot of them.
maybe.
Wow.
And we have a little different, you know. I was going to wear my green today.
Oh.
But you people would all look at me like, Santa, green. But I do wear green when I do other countries, other parts of the world.
Okay.
Green's very common.
So
I have
Santas
a
wear
seat-
different colors
yes,
in other
some are
countries?
beautiful all white.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen that.
This has a little bling that Mrs. Claus made, so it's nice.
Oh my
wow.
goodness, you did
made
this
that?
embroidery?
You'll see
Wow.
one.
This is
Sometimes I wear one
Claus.
with just the buttons down the front.
Yep.
And that's called the Coca-Cola suit. And
Oh,
that
yes.
That's the
that
traditional
was
one.
on, it came out in the 1930s. Santa
Okay.
was on the Coke commercial. They asked Santa to help with marketing and so forth. And the man who did that suit has the buttons down the front. So if you
Yeah.
see Santa in the buttons, it's a Coca-Cola suit.
Coca-Cola, Santa.
That's very
yeah.
good to know that Santa does have different outfits for different countries. That's fantastic.
Can we talk about your awesome beard?
Well, you know, first of all, I have to go on record and say that I have to thank her for so many things. I get all the credit. I do get all the credit. But
Mrs.
she
Claus.
helps
Yeah.
me. She helps with my beard.
Behind
I'm
the scenes.
not
That's
very
right.
good with the curling iron.
Okay.
You can't tell my secret.
You'll
So
burn yourself.
She helps with the mustache
Yeah.
and the curling irons. So she helps. She does everything.
Where
She
would you
helps.
be without Mrs. Claus?
I know.
And the truth is,
We do joke
more,
about
that.
more little old ladies,
Yes.
more little old ladies pull my beard than the kids. Is that real, Santa? Is that real?
And this one is
I'm one
real.
of them.
This one is real. Malene did pull
Yes,
it.
she did.
Yes, I did. It's real. I can attest to this.
Some Santas don't always have the real beards.
No, and we learned that there are some Santas, and we call it, they wear the traditional beard. And it doesn't mean they're not a good Santa if they don't have a real beard.
Okay.
There can be a great Santa helper. It's what's in your heart, as we
Yeah.
talked about the oath. If you have Christmas in your heart and a twinkle in your eye, and you don't have to have a real beard,
Yeah.
to be a good Santa.
Santa, in terms of the big day, I know that a lot of little ones love to put out a little plate of milk and cookies. Is that mandatory?
What is your favorite cookie also?
Well, the truth is, that my favorite cookie is round. No, my favorite cookie is really a warm, homemade chocolate chip. But a lot of people know that.
Oh, yeah.
So I get millions and millions of chocolate chip.
Like that.
Too many cookies.
So I do
you need to
like
share.
it. I do like it when I get different ones.
Yep.
You know, whether it be sugar cookies or peanut butter. I do like that. And it
Mm-hmm.
seems like a lot of people, especially now in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, are giving me mac and cheese.
Oh,
and I
really?
love mac and cheese. And cold pizza.
Oh my goodness. And what do you like to drink? What can we
Whoa.
leave you?
It's funny now. I got a little request.
Yeah.
Do you like warm milk?
Yuck.
Do you like warm milk?
No.
I know she likes it with hot chocolate. so Santa doesn't like warm milk.
Oh yeah.
And it just sits out too long.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's sitting out for 5, 6, 7 hours, and I go
By
to
the
drink
time
it.
you get there.
Yeah.
So one time, a little girl caught me. I was ditching the milk down the
no.
sink. And
Oh,
she
no.
catches me. And the fun we have with it. And to tell the truth, I'm in the process of writing a story about it. And the name of the story is going to be Just Leave the Glass. So I'm trying to spread the word that you don't have to leave Santa the milk. I know where it is. I'm a big boy. I can open the refrigerator. Yours is
Help
one with all the
yourself.
magnets, right?
Yep.
And all the pictures.
Yep.
So I can pour my own milk. So you don't have to leave me warm milk.
That's
Good to know.
fantastic. So maybe a glass of water or a glass of wine.
Yeah.
As long as your parent serves a glass of wine. We don't want to get
Or
a bag
just
of
leave
coal.
the glass.
Exactly. Santa, we have an opportunity here to talk to folks and really kind of describe what we're doing here in terms of the show. And the reason why we wanted to bring you on is, of course, this is holiday cheer, but also if you listen to the message of what Santa is spreading here, that the happiness is in your heart, that the holiday carries itself in the way that you interact with folks, would you say that that's probably one of the most important gifts that we can give each other this year is kindness?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And a lot of people don't like Christmas. They're sad, they're depressed
Yeah.
because they've maybe lost a loved one,
Yeah.
or they're just lonely and they're sad, or it's a financial thing and they try to keep up.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
they try to buy these gifts and they don't really have the money and stuff. So my job is to just bring joy and happiness and yeah, we don't like, everyone likes a gift card once in a while, but try to go back to the
that's
basics.
not the meaning of
Right,
Christmas.
Right. Like we always tease, what's our best Christmas gift? And it's a little wreath that our kids made, almost 50 years ago, with the ZD
40,
and the
40.
and the ZD and the
40, not 50.
the
not 40.
macaroni on top of it, and it
Yeah.
sits, and they made it and they spray painted in preschool, so we keep that.
Yeah.
And that's your
So
prized possession.
Homemade
Yeah.
gifts,
Yeah,
You
well,
don't-
my
you don't need
kids
a lot of
always
money.
ask, Mom, what do you want? And I'm like, your time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the best
You
gift
remember the story of the
ever.
little
Yeah.
drummer boy? He had nothing, and the little, what did he give? He gave a song. A little,
Yeah.
so you just got to give what's in your heart. You don't need money.
It doesn't have to
Just
be
help.
something fancy
Right.
under
No,
the tree.
no.
So thank you for reminding us that that is the meaning of Christmas.
Yeah.
Santa, while you're here, we also made a special request, and we're not sure because I know you're very busy and very pressed at time, but Krista and I would love to know if you would read a little bit of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas with us.
Sure. And it's a special poem. It's the most famous poem in the whole world, believe it or not.
Is it
It's the
really?
most famous poem in the whole world. And I'm so happy that you asked, because I keep a running tab of how often do I read it.
Yep.
And I'm at like 1,528 times in a row. One family, we did switch to the Polar Express. They had their PJs on and we read the Polar Express. But it's my favorite poem to read. And it's very special. When we talked about a little bit about the history,
Yeah.
this book was written in 1822.
Oh, wow.
So 200 years ago. That's how
Wow.
old it is.
So this is a literary classic.
Yes, a man named Mr. Clement Moore.
Yep.
He was the minister, and he catches me, and he writes a story for his school children. 200 years ago. Now, 200 years,
my
a long
God.
time. George Washington had just died, and Abe Lincoln was a teenager. That's how long ago this book was written.
Wow.
And there are a couple parts that I don't like.
Like,
Why?
It says I smoke a pipe. Now, did your grandpa smoke a pipe?
Yes.
He did. Did yours? A long time ago, maybe?
cigarrillos in my house.
Oh,
But yes, we
did.
could smell,
you
yeah.
can smell it. yeah.
Yes.
Me, I'm a Papa Noel.
You're Papa Noel. See.
So, in another part, it says I'm chubby and plump.
Yeah.
Now, do I look chubby and plump to you? Careful, I know where you live. I know where you live. It does call, Mrs. Claus doesn't like that part. It calls me chubby and plump.
Yeah.
Absolutely
No,
not.
But nobody likes the skinny Santa.
Santa's not skinny.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house, not a creature was staring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be.
There.
You do know this story.
Yeah, I
How many
do.
times have you heard it?
Many.
Yes. The children will nestle all snug in their beds with visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in a kerchief, remember it's Mr. Moore now, Mama in a kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out in the lawn there rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash. I tore open the shutters and I threw up the sash. The moon of the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. But what to my wondering eyes should appear but a little teeny sleigh with 8 tiny reindeers. Rudolph wasn't born yet.
Oh, okay.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be.
Saint
That's
Nick.
me, yes. More rapid than eagles, his curses they came. And he whistled, and he shouted, and he called them by name. Now,
Oh.
Dasher,
Oh boy, I don't know if
Dasher,
Dasher.
Dancer, and Prancer,
Prancer.
and Vixen, and Comet, and Cupid, and Donner, and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, all. So up to the housetops, the curses, they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas, too. That's me. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew my head and turned around, down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and
Soot.
soot. I've read this a lot.
Yeah.
A bundle of toys he flung on his pack. He looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a...
Cherry.
He had a little mouth that was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as
No.
the snow. I don't like this part. The stump of his pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of...
Jelly.
I would have said cherries.
I can't read this part, you read it.
No. He was chubby and plump.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. And I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word. He went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings. Then he turned with a jerk, put his finger on his nose, and boom, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, and his team he gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. And I heard him yell as he went out of sight,
Merry Christmas to all,
and to all a good night. Oh,
Thank you, Santa. Thank you for taking the time to read that story to us, to put us in the Christmas spirit. And thank you, Mrs. Claus, for keeping him on the straight and narrow.
Yes. Thank you so much. You're a wonderful guest. We're so
thank you.
excited.
Thank
And folks,
you.
before you leave, Santa, would you be so kind? I can't walk away, but those 2 bags, you're not used to receiving gifts. You're normally the ones to get them. So we wanted to give you something small.
Socks and underwear?
Absolutely. So if you turn that bag around, I drew that for you, Mrs. Claus.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Everything's
She's so
personalized.
talented.
Thank you. So please take them out. I want you to show everybody what you've received. And remember, we're bribing you. Krista and I will send you a list.
I already have mine written out.
And you were mentioning about just leave the glass. There's your glass.
Look
Just
at,
leave
I
the
got a new glass. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you.
And those are little tiny little glasses that you can put out year round.
Oh, I have a perfect place for it.
Hot
thank
cocoa and
you.
chocolate.
Thank you very
My
much for having
favorite.
And
us.
she loves hot cocoa.
I do.
Yes, she does.
I
The
do.
other
It's
person
my
likes
favorite.
more milk.
I have it almost every day.
So again, a little gift to thank you for
Thank you
spending
so
time and for
much.
spreading joy
Thank
with
you.
us.
Yes.
It's
you
been
for
a
having
pleasure.
us. Thank you.
And hopefully we can call in some more favors next year.
Yeah,
Yes.
you stay on the good list now. You
All right, that's gonna be hard,
you know,
but I'm gonna
remember
try.
3 Fridays ago, remember.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, don't remind me.
So you still have a few weeks to get, if you're on the fence,
He sees everything.
if you're on the fence, you still have a few weeks to go.
All right. For a couple weeks, I can keep it together. Thank you, Santa. And to everybody out there watching us, we want to thank you. Again, we're new at this, and we're looking for new guests, and we're looking for more energy to come onto the show. So continue to watch, continue to spread the word, and especially enjoy your Christmas with your family.
Yes, happy holidays.